Joining me tonight, Republican Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota. Do you agree that the president should not meet with Democrats until the government is open, or would it be more helpful, since we are 21 days into this, for him to get in a room with Senator Chuck Schumer?
I totally agree with the president. He absolutely cannot meet with the Democrats until they quit holding the shutdown in abeyance. They have to eliminate the shutdown, and then the president is more than willing to come in and sit down and visit. Republican leadership, both sides, are ready to sit down and to work on the issues that we all care about. But you can't do it when you're holding the government hostage, when you're holding people hostage. Did you know that we're actually losing 43,000 jobs a month, $15 billion in GDP while the government is shut down? If these Democrats actually cared about that, they wouldn't be doing it the way they are right now. They would end the shutdown, and they would take a very serious look at what it's going to take to pass appropriation bills and to start talking about how we fix health care in America today.
Senator Klobuchar said that there are Senate Republicans that recognize something has to be done about the health care subsidies. It affects a lot of their constituents as well, who are going to see bigger premiums. If you're going to come to an agreement with them on that, is it not helpful to talk about that, to offer them assurances, if that's their primary demand in the government shutdown?
There are several items that have to be discussed, and I won't try to go into it today. We've been talking privately for a long time about it. But number one, even if these subsidies that came in, the COVID subsidies as we call them, or the subsidies that President Biden authorized, even if those were put back in the way they are, with all of the corruption and all the fraud that was still included in it, and Democrats admit that there was fraud that needs to be fixed in it, but even if we left it all alone and just redid it, you could probably change the premiums that are going to go up by maybe 5%. It's going to go up between 16 and 30% this next year, regardless of what Congress does. And part of it's because Obamacare has never worked correctly. It's always needed subsidies. And that's the reason why when they put it in the first place, there were subsidies included in it. And secondly, they put additional subsidies in at the time that the COVID crisis hit. And now it's Democrats that set the time in which it would expire. They set it up for December of 25 for those credits to expire. And now they're telling us, and they're suggesting to the American people, that it's our fault that their subsidies are expiring right now. They could have put it in permanently if they would have wanted to when they did reconciliation. They decided not to do that.
Yeah, well, that was the same argument that Democrats were making when Republicans wanted to extend the tax cuts, to be fair. They were saying, well, they put this deadline in place, and now Republicans were saying, well, if we don't extend this, it's going to be a tax hike. But on that, there are 54,000 enrollees in the ACA marketplace in your home state.
And there's 18,000 of them that are going to be dramatically impacted by this.
So what do you say to them if nothing's done and their premiums do double?
Even if we do the enhanced subsidies, their premiums are already going to go up probably 18 to 24%.
But they may say, I'd rather have 18% than double.
I don't disagree. But in order to do that, and we are more than willing to work with them, but not when the government is shut down. You can't take a hostage and then expect the other side to simply say, oh, you're taking a hostage, you shut down government, you're costing 43,000 jobs a month, and then to say, well, I guess you're just going to have to win this and we're going to let you do it. No, the answer is open government now. Let's get back to doing the business of the people, and with regard to the ACA, let's try to do something to actually fix some of the reasons why it continues to explode in price ever since it was incepted.
But it sounds like you would not vote for just a one-year extension of the subsidies.
I thought originally, when we had some time, we could find a way to make some modifications to the existing subsidies that are in place. Number one, the fraud has got to go away. And Democrats tell us that they agree with us on that. We know that there's literally billions of dollars in fraud. We've already got the criminal cases going on. Second of all, we've got to make it very clear that taxpayer dollars are not going to fund abortion services, regardless of it's in a state that it's legal in or illegal.
Okay, so that's a red line for you. Can I also ask you today, because the other day the president said, as you know, the United States is going to be bailing Argentina out to the tune of $20 billion. The president also suggested that the United States could start importing beef from Argentina. You seem to have had issue with that. You were at that lunch today at the White House today. What did you say to President Trump about that?
The president heard from a number of us that are in states where cows outnumber people. And in South Dakota, like in Montana and North Dakota, Nebraska, in places where farmers and ranchers have actually for the first time been able to make a profit on the livestock that they're producing. The best way, if you really want to bring down food prices, do it like you did because energy prices are down. But we did it because we created more American energy and got it into the market. Allow those producers to do the same thing. Make it easier for them to make a profit. Allow them to be able to produce more livestock. But let's make it American livestock. One way to do that, and then you can talk about bringing in exports or imports if you really want to, mandatory country of origin labeling. Let the consumer know where their livestock is coming from. The consumer will decide they want American beef. But if we can't put a mandatory country of origin labeling in place here in this country, then the consumer doesn't know where their beef is coming from.
The other thing the president said today when we were in the Oval Office, and it's something that you and I have discussed a lot, is when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. He had suggested last week that he might be meeting with President Putin again quite soon, in the next 2 weeks. Today he said that he didn't want to be meeting with him if it was going to be a waste of time. Do you believe that it is now the time to move on the Russia sanctions bill in the Senate? Do you want to see Leader Thune take action on that?
I think we still want to coordinate with the president. He wants to mediate a peace. That's his goal. He wants the killing to stop. But most of us believe that Mr. Putin doesn't want to stop. Mr. Putin doesn't care about the loss of life. It's time to provide the president with the tools that he needs so that he can negotiate this out. Mr. Putin should know that the president has said in the past that he's going to end this one way or another, and he's warned Mr. Putin in the past that there are better ways to do this and to continue on. So number one, yeah, look, when it comes to providing the opportunity to sanction those countries who are buying petroleum right now from Russia, we would do that in a heartbeat. Let's get it on, let's get going with it. We would provide the president with those tools. And the other piece on this, there's money right now in Europe that's being held, $350 billion of Russian resources, assets. Yeah. We think it's about time that maybe those be released and we use that to help start rebuilding Ukraine.
Well, and that includes China that is importing Russian oil and has not faced sanctions or tariffs yet for that.
I know that the president has a good working relationship with Xi Jinping. Let's utilize that. Let's get Xi Jinping to recognize that this could be extremely expensive for his country as well if we don't get Mr. Putin to come around, get to the bargaining table, and let's end the bloodshed.
Senator Mike Rounds, as always, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here on set.